So soft and crumbly. Tops are beautiful, shiny. Curl up on the couch and enjoy. Hey Tasty Fam, Kiano here, and I'm at my kitchen studio Jaconi, and I'm going to teach you today how to make scones. They are incredibly versatile. I'm gonna be making my favorite version, but also walk you through all the different types of varieties you can make at home. And the best part is you can enjoy them hot and fresh, but also pop them in the freezer so you can have fresh scones anytime. So the ingredients I'll be using are all-purpose flour, whole milk, unsalted butter, eggs, white sugar, baking powder, raisins, vanilla extract, and chai masala. All right, it is time to bake. Time to bake. First things first, I have 3 large eggs. Love a dark yolk. And I have some milk, 3/4 cup, whole milk. When making scones, fat, F-A-T, is what makes everything so delicious. Yes, you can use skim, but it'll just be a little less buttery, a little less. Adding a teeny bit of vanilla extract. You can totally do this without vanilla, but with the spices I'm gonna add, it's gonna add a bit of warmth to it. Beat this really well so there's no streaks of egg white. You want it to be a very homogeneous mixture. Now on to the dry. I have 5½ cups of all-purpose flour. I like adding a bit of sweetness, but not as sweet as a cake. So I have about 1/2 cup to 2/3 a cup of sugar is usually good to make sure it's sweet-ish. Very, very important. Baking powder, and a whole lot of it. 3 tablespoons of baking powder. This is one way to assure your scones will not be stones. Don't be shy on the baking powder. It's gonna help you make them light and fluffy. It's a little bit crumbly, but you want that. It's kind of part of the scone experience. My palate could use a little something. You sip your tea or coffee. A little salt happens in here. So I'm just gonna go for 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. If you're using table salt, use less because it is saltier. If you overmix your scones, it's not gonna be that crumbly, flaky texture. It's gonna be, this is kind of the opportunity to flavor it however you like. I love chai. Just a mixture of spices that you may already have in your kitchen. You can also buy it, and it just adds in that aroma. Cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and a little bit of black pepper. So flour is nice and mixed together, and this is where I'm gonna incorporate the butter. This is just under 2 sticks, so 1 3/4 sticks of butter cut into little cubes. It's very, very important that your butter is cold. Cold butter will give you flaky scones. That is the mantra. Cold butter, flaky scone. These are your tools. You're just gonna go pinching. And the first part is you wanna lightly just toss it around so all of the butter is coated in the flour. And once it's nice and coated, it's when you go in with the little pinch claws and start smushing the butter in between the flour. At any point, if you feel like the butter is starting to melt in your hands, pop it in the freezer, let everything get nice and cold again, and then back to the pinching. Even distribution of the butter is key, integral, incredibly crucial. Can you tell this is important by now? It's just still very much resemble flour. So this is looking good, nice and crumbly flour, so time to move on to the next step. To my dry mix, I'm going to add in that milk, egg, and vanilla liquid, as well as some raisins. Raisins work well, chopped apricots, dates, as well as some types of fresh fruit. So you can do a blueberry scone, dice up some apples, some pears. Those all work really great. So if you have some lemons on your counter, oranges, you can zest them and incorporate that in there for a little bit of brightness and flavor. Really, your imagination is the limit when it comes to how you flavor a scone. Once those mix together, it's not gonna resemble a homogeneous dough like a cookie dough. It's still really crumbly. The time has come. Gonna turn it out onto a very lightly floured, clean work surface and just dump it all out. And it's just one jumbled mess. The only thing to do is to squidge it together. So bring in the sides, the top, and I want to shape it into a square. And I'm just gonna be using my bent scraper or any just straight plastic thing to help bring it all in and help kind of minimize my hand contact. So pat it down until it is 1 inch thick all around. It's time to cut, and really the choice is yours at this point. If you want it square, if you want it triangle, you want it round, do whatever you like. It'll all cook the same and cook beautifully. So I'm using a round cookie cutter around 2.5 inches in diameter and wiggle it out. Baking sheet, very simple, lined with parchment paper, and just pop the scone right on top. And then just continue cutting until there's no more dough left, and then gather up all the scraps and keep shaping until the dough is gone. All the scones are cut out and I divided into 2 different trays. One tray going right into the freezer, and then the other tray is for enjoying right now. So for the batch I'm going to bake now, I'm just gonna brush it with an egg wash. I'm using just an egg yolk with a pinch of salt. Just mix it together. I have a regular pastry brush. If you don't wanna use another egg, or don't have enough eggs to spare, you can use some milk and heavy cream. It's not gonna be as shiny, but it's better than putting it in naked. Do not put your scones in naked. Be very, very delicate. Once this egg wash bakes, it's gonna have that beautiful, like shiny brown, just like you see in professional bakeries, because you too are your own baker. I just do the tops. You can do the sides if you want to. Just a really light layer does the job. Every step in making scones is so soothing. The crumbling, the brushing. If you don't have a pastry brush, I have done this with a paper towel and just little blots and dabs. You're gonna lose a little bit of your egg, but hey, it gets the job done. It's all you need. You see them look good. All this labor for them to look mediocre. God, they're so cute. So these are egg washed and ready to bake in the oven, 350 degrees until they are golden brown and beautiful, so about 20 minutes. While my scones are in the oven baking, I'm going to show you how you can freeze the rest. This is a 2-step process. Part 1, you want to freeze them individually, not touching at all. No touch, everything needs its personal space to get nice and frozen. And then once all of the scones have chilled out, literally to their frozen solid, then you can put them all into a single Ziploc bag, label, and it can store for 3 months. This is one baked good you absolutely want to eat while it is piping hot. You know they're done when the bottoms just have like a little tanness to it and the tops are beautiful, shiny. I'm going to eat this with a little bit of jam. Oh boy, so soft and crumbly. So it doesn't even cut quite perfectly, but that's what you want. You can spread it on top like toast or just keep it by you and just spread it on bite per bite. Holy moly. You cannot eat a scone cute. I swear I want anyone to try it because if you made these right, they're a little bit crumbly. So it should just like fall apart in your mouth, but also melt a little bit. Have yourself a cup of tea, some coffee, curl up on the couch and enjoy. So that is how you make scones. Feel free to customize it, make it your own. And if you do make this recipe, please show me, tag me on Instagram. I love to see what you're baking. Until next time, farewell.
Oh, yes.